Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of The Poetic Process by Kenneth Burke. Here he says that psychology is a form of studies to understand clearly what does a human do in generating his or her actions. Psychological studies does not only focus on such human activities and human perspective and conceptualization. Psychology pertains to a method of how an idea was formed. Emotions and feelings expressed are mostly the basis of psychology. The idea of psychology is a prominent form of getting the numbers of how to individualize human beings towards their ideals and human characteristics and pleasant or unpleasant human behavior. The poetic process shows how more knowledge of this approach through a series of a process can be subdued or expanded. The poetic process by Kenneth Burke suggests the climatic style, poet's perspective and intellectual concepts. This also suggests the consciousness and mood, judgment or any writer through a psychological aspects. Feeling for such arrangement of such matter as produce crescendo, contrast, comparison, balance, repetition, disclosure, reversal, contradiction, expansion, magnification, series, and so on. The two main words which are of great focus in the poetic process are crescendo and individuation. A gradual increase in the highest part and the process of our mind to record formally arrange our experiences through progression, which may be psychic or physical, is the cruise of crescendo. Individuation is the process by which individuals in society become differentiated from one another. The process of being differentiated from such arrangements and such activity in mind formed through her own concepts, different in aspects and conceptualizations, but still the same essence and the ability to rationalize, attempt to explain or justify one's own or another's behavior or attitude with logical, plausible reasons, even if these are not true or appropriate. Sometimes moods turn to be the subject matter in the principle of individuation. Emotional factors is the basis of technical form or the consistency of the writer's perceptions formed. The spontaneous overflow of feelings and emotions of the writer must be consistent and the details are arranged specifically to withdraw the emphatic justice he or she wants to pertain. Exploitation of style spontaneously generated and the fact of making use of a situation to gain unfavored advantage for oneself. Self-expression of the writer's idea must provoke the mental and emotional awareness of the reader. Evocation rather than utterance. Evocation needs to be a kind of summoning the mind and soul, and utterance through vocal presentation. Art is a translation, and every translation is a compromise, either positive or negative. Exaggerations to mentally subdue the concept, although part of the artistic style, different from real experience. Emotional and ideological complexities must be critical and yet important to understand. Symbolism is a principle for logical guidance. Original emotion is channelized into a symbol. The symbol then becomes a generative force, a relationship to be repeated in varying details. Symbolism requires an emotional consistency and logical consistency. It externalizes the artist's sense of mood towards rationalization by substituting a good reason for an action. It further dictates the analogy between instances and procedures that may occur on his spontaneity. To life serving here as a formula for our experiences, charming us by finding some more or less simple principle, underlining us by finding some more or less simple principle, underlying our emotional complexities. For the symbol here affects us like a work science, like the magic formula of the savage, like the medicine for an ill. For the symbol is also like a message unless some new element of appeal is to be found there. If we read again and again some textbook about evolution and enjoy quoting aloud pages of it, this is because beyond the message there is style. For in addition to the symbol and ramification, a person who does not avidly need the symbol and the ramifications of the symbol, poetry also involves the method of presenting these ramifications. A person who does not avidly need the symbol can be led it through excellence of its presentation. A person who does not avidly need symbol loses this need the more thoroughly the symbol is put before him. What we find words for, says Nietzsche, is that for which we no longer have use in our own hearts. There is always a kind of contempt in the act of speaking. Contempt indeed, so far as the original emotion was concerned, but not contempt for the act of speaking. And here the summary ends. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.